No, I want to play some 4-color with Lord of the Rings cards, a lot of them. Just kind of a general few notes here. One, we're finally trying an Omnath One Ring Shell, kind of a first draft, but I think a draft that looks pretty interesting. We get to see how it plays in like a Teferi, Time Raveler, Omnath shell. I think that Reprieve could be better than Counterspell in these shells. Not that you always play Counterspell, but Reprieve, whatever. Reprieve could be better where it's like way easier on the mana, way easier on the mana than Counterspell, and is also better than Remand. Getting around uncountable things, getting around Veil, getting around Dispute is just like strictly better than Remand if white and blue is roughly the same. And then I like being able to play Delighted Halfling a lot in the 1-drop slot over Prismatic Ending is kind of how I'm thinking about it. I've seen a lot of people playing, play Prismatic Ending, Lightning Bolts, whatever in the main of these decks, but with Rhinos and like creativity being such big parts of the metagame, I'm not a big fan of either like of Prismatic Ending at the moment, or like even Lightning Bolts so much in these shells has felt a little awkward. And you don't really need it so much with binding Solitude to Teferi. You still have a lot of removal, but you can but like getting to play like a mana accelerant on turn 1 is exciting. A very good mana accelerant too. This one is going to let your Wrenn and Sixes, your Nissas, your Omnaths, your Rings, your Titania, your Teferis be uncounterable, and it's also 2 toughness mana dork in the Wrenn and Six format. I had yesterday. I think it's probably better to play an Elesh Norn in the main deck over Sam, but I want to play one copy of Sam and see how it plays. And it's also cool that Sam can buy back a One Ring if you legendary roll 1 rings, let you do a little bit. I think the first Sam is like maybe good. I would probably never play more than one, but I want to try it out. I already hate this deck. Yeah, I don't like the 4-color deck so much either, but it's good to play a villain deck after a hero deck. And immediately mulliganing. Keeping this, put back second Teferi. What a draw. So any red source is going to give me domain. So let's go to get Stomping Ground, which is like I think a second green is better than second red in this build by a good amount. Likely up against the burn variant here with Channeler. You want to suspend a Rift Bolt, opponent? Would you like to maybe suspend Rift Bolt? No, they're gonna skewer. So let's play Nissa this turn so that we can actually gain life off Omnath next turn, which is of course very important against the burn deck. The Stevens, right? Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, second blue. Yeah, not Arid Mesa. Pretty bad if they have Searing Blaze with this line. Okay, so we can make white or red here. Green, white, red, blue. I kind of feel like maybe playing around Skullcrack a little bit is better than getting a card here. Although they'll probably cast something on my end of turn. Okay, they just concede. Great, that's great. Love that. Okay, bring in the counter magic. I think I'll bring in the forces too. Maybe not. We'll think about it some more. I'll cut the Reprives. Kind of a clean cut, to be honest. This card's really bad against burn. Majo, 14 months, thank you. Yeah, we did 5-0 with Snapcaster Mage. Snapcaster Mage survives to be played another day. I know, we're in like to the ultimate villain deck right after playing the ultimate hero deck. Just so people don't like me too much. Reprieve is money versus Rift Bolt. That is the only situation where it does anything, I think. Reprieve is really, really bad against burn. But like, I know Mana Leak was. That 5-0 because Blood Moon is well positioned. I mean, I 5-0 because I got very lucky, if we're being honest with ourselves. Y'all, the burn players are literally adopting the Bobble Channeler. Like, this is so sweet. It just feels like they've come so long. Like, when I was playing, like, Channeler Luris, like, no, like... When I was playing Channeler Laris, I felt like I could not convince a single burn player to play the deck. But now that we had like a really good run with it the other day, they're like legitimately playing it. Kid with the 7 months, thank you. I love that. Forgot to ask, how do I sideboard against you? Yeah. Yeah, but what problems does it solve? Don't love this one, but gonna keep it. Gonna get Breeding Pool? What did they do? They went turn 1 Goblin Guide, turn 2 Goblin Guide Swift Spirit, triple Mishra's Bauble. For a very fast concession from me. Guess we attack. Could block up 1 power Swift Spear, but I'm just gonna attack. Why get Breeding Pool over Temple Garden? What double blue? The Force of Negation that's in my hand. Could be cutting the 1 ring. If we had like, you know, like life gain spells to bring in, I'd be down, but we don't really have anything else. Burn's probably a really bad matchup. Just good against everything. My attack? Well, I'm probably attack because I'm probably not blocking, right? I am holding up nothing. Feels bad I have 2 Swift Spears. Yeah, but that's like a very unlikely scenario, right? And even if my opponent has 2 Swift Spears, they should just play 1, attack with just the 1 and I can't block. Or I don't think I would block in that scenario. Okay, suspends Rift Bolt. Hopefully I can get a Teferi. Or actually just any land for 1 ring would counter the Rift Bolt here, which would be a big deal. Okay, that's any land. I have double green, I have double white. I guess I'll just get another plains anyways. Okay, so protection from Rift Bolts. Yeah, and they still have to cast it, so they're targeting themselves. Ajax with the 2 months, thank you. There's no difference just playing 2 Swift attack on both. Alright, I guess you're right, never mind. Sure. But again, I get in for a damage. It's not like there's like no a downside to attacking, but it's like this, not the most important things to argue about either. Alright, I'm gonna draw a card, despite me losing a life. Need to dig for an Omnath, I think. Or maybe just land for Titania. Although I don't know that that's gonna be enough. I have a land for Titania. Yeah, I guess I do just slam Titania here and wait on tapping the ring. I may need to draw like Solitude white card or something, but I like that I have Force up on their turn. Searing Blaze would be so awkward. Can't force. They do have the Searing Blaze. I'm going down to 5. So if I tap the ring, I need to draw a Solitude to have a chance to win. I think that's kind of the only way I could win anyways. Solitude white card right now. Yeah. Tough matchup for sure. Deck already not as good as Snapcaster. Malith, 15 months, thank you. Was the Flame of Nor card worth it? It's like, the deck is like almost definitely worse than Murktide. Like the whole deck. But like Flame of Nor was good that league. It was good with Snapcaster. You probably need like either another good card for Snapcaster or another good card for, you know, you need more reasons to play that build over Murktide, but it's not that far off. Should have included a photo. Yeah, I should have mentioned that. I don't know. It's okay. I don't need to like maximize the content value of the tweet, you know. What's on a Mold of 5, playing a Wooded Foothills. I guess drawing second Misty, I should have played the second Misty. Not that it'll matter much. Logan with the 5, thank you. So we probably go Jeskai Triome into Forest. Maybe Absent Triome here is better because it's easier to get like full domain. We can get full domain with Absent Triome and any land, but also like my life total could be relevant and my mana should be pretty good. Doesn't matter a ton either way, I guess. Oh, they're rhinos? Okay. We really need some of these rings to resolve, which means... But it is true that they will maybe... if they have a Force of Negation, they might use it on Teferi. Solitude is a really good draw, too. Although I would really prefer to be able to keep the Omnath in my hand so that I can go ring into Omnath ring and just really stabilize. And it looks like I can maybe do that. I did draw another white card. So they have to send both creatures at Teferi here to keep it around. Am I going to test another archetype today? We'll see. That Snapcaster League took like 2.5 hours or something, or almost 2.5 hours. It'll be tough. I have a really busy evening too. I'm a really busy evening this evening, and then tomorrow's stream I'll try to get to that living in league with the like 14 land living end. Sounds kind of fun. Circle back to Sam combo. One more league of 8 key, maybe something else somewhere in there. Challenge on Saturday. Then I'm helping a friend move and road tripping to Utah. I'm road tripping to Utah with a friend on Sunday and Monday, like the whole day. And I'm going to be flying back Tuesday morning. I'm getting here at like 9 a.m., which is usually when I start the stream, so you can plan on the stream starting at like an hour after the usual start on Tuesday. I'm gonna stream on Tuesday, despite like waking up at like 4 to fly over here. So it's gonna be a very busy like it's gonna be a very busy like 4 days. We're in Utah. I don't know. These are the questions that I would think a normal person would ask their friend. Where are we going? Haven't asked. Haven't got around to it. Haven't got around to it. Yeah, the 14 land living in deck was actually a deck tech from Shaka today, who was talking about it in chat yesterday, and just like really, like I don't even think I'm changing a single card from right now. I might change a couple cards, might go down even a land, but it looks so good because you get to play Fury. The basic land cycle is let you go down a land, so you can play Fury, Force, and Grief, which is like just so good. It's crazy how my opponent started this turn with 14 power, and I have no board, and it also feels like I could never lose. It also feels like I'm in a spot where I could never lose. I get to go Omnath into another ring, gain 4, draw 3, and protection from everything again. Architects are real good enough. Figured that'd be the cut. Architects it's a multicolor card in your 12 pitch card deck. It's definitely one that you want. We do lose the Wrenn and Six, though. Dead on board to stomp. Oh, shit. Oh, they protection for the ring does not protect your planeswalkers, so they could have killed the Wrenn, but that's okay. Yeah, I know. People don't realize that the ring being legendary is literally just an upside. Although we'll probably keep the ring with more counters this game. Dispute might change your mind. They have some outs, but we're still in great shape or whatever. Let's get full domain here. I guess... No, I should keep the new ring, because this new ring represents 3 cards, and so does this one, but I take 1 less life. In response to ring triggers, can you not tap it? No, the legend rule cannot be responded to. It's a special thing. My opponent's also drawn land, which gotta feel bad for them. Now they kill the Wrenn and Six. Do I ring again? Probably. I can also just card cast Solitude if I don't find something better here. Oh, that might be better. Now I can go to Teferi, Halfling, Binding. That's binding now, so only have to discard one card, I guess. And I guess I actually leave the Omnath back since I have a second Omnath in hand. So I want to keep Teferi around too. Bounce your own ring. I think it's better to bounce a Rhino on this board. I don't need protection from everything next turn. My life total's not low enough to want to do that. If you're discarding one, isn't too bad on its 5 lands. Yeah, but I'm gonna binding a token anyways. Like, I'm just do it now, right? Just correct sequencing, I think. I think I Omnath before I tap my ring because I'm a little bit worried about drawing all my fetchables. I guess we should have shocked so we could hold up potential reprieve. I guess I can still hold it up, actually. Could play a new ring. I don't really want to, though. Yeah, just pass. Oh yeah, I should have cast the Wrenn and Six. It's okay. We can't lose here.
Raining, let her be with you.
It's okay, Athena. Don't worry. Athena likes it in here when it's raining because it's so quiet, I think. Whatever, Wrenn and Six. I just forgot. It's chill. Yeah, I've gone back and forth on pronouncing this card so often at this point. I don't know what the correct pronunciation is supposed to be, and I've stopped caring, I think. Should maybe be leaving fetch lands in play for Titania to win the game eventually. Oh, there's Titania. Reprieve is just a normal English word. Well, some of you didn't get your education from the back of an Applebee's and it shows. Testing blink effects with ring. Blink effects are not good with the ring. You only get protection from everything if you cast it. I want to leave one fetchable in the deck, so I'll just fetch fail to find here. 1 to 3 months. Yeah, a lot of people have been like, Spike, Feldark Guardian combo with one ring, but I don't think it's any good because of that. If it did work, it'd be really hyped though. Coldred at the 33. So they are gonna kill a token because of the +1. Guess we can maybe Solitude the agent. Yeah, definitely Solituding now. Works with release still wins. You don't want to register that card. One ring, sculpting skill, Academy Ruins. I don't know. It feels like that kind of interaction is like, it's like it loses the Pithy Needle, it loses the counter spells, it loses to Graveyard Hate, it loses the Blood Moon, and so it's just like not like Modern is not a format where fogging your opponent's creatures every turn beats most decks. It's like that loop would be good against Hammer, but also maybe too slow against Hammer. So I think if you can like incidentally just like play an Academy Ruins and like loop with the rings, like that's kind of cool. If it's like relatively free, but I don't think it will be free in like most decks. But you can maybe play an Urza Academy Ruins one ring deck. That could be kind of fun. Okay, so we are up a game against Rhinos. Elstorm being a 4/7 is actually pretty nice in this matchup. We cut the Sam. The Halflings being like so fragile to the burn probably makes them just like cuts also. Hopes for Orcus Bowmaster. I'll try to find a Bowmaster deck to play tomorrow. No promises. Like it definitely hasn't been a card that's been very high on my list, unfortunately. Maybe one Veil, it's not. Do you think it's a competitive Winota deck? I worked on Winota some. There's something to be said for Winota variants, but I do think like Pippin, the new Pippin seems really good in Winota. Maybe Mary, but probably just Pippin. Why no Aragorn? I mean, like very simply put, I don't think like if we're gonna play a new format, like we have 4 1 rings, we have 4 Omnaths. Those are better 4-drops. I don't think Aragorn's good enough. I would love to be wrong though, because Aragorn is awesome. But just trying to if I'm gonna like, it's kind of I kind of have the opposite attitude that I had with the Snapcaster deck for this deck. Like, if you're gonna make me play 4-color Omnath, I'm gonna try to build the best version I can. But with Snapcaster Mage, I'm willing to make some concessions. Maybe I'm supposed to play Fetchland here to play on ice. Bowmaster plus Fairy Mastermind deck is a Valdrosa card. Seems very slow and easy to interact with, but that's never stopped any Twitch chatter before, I guess. No blue card for Force. Been loving Bowmasters? What have you been playing it in? Yeah, Remand would be better here, huh? It's funny. So I'm gonna fetch now so they can't respond to my fetch land with like a Violent Outburst. Then we're gonna cast Binding. Teferi could be good to bounce. I guess we would just bounce a Rhino, not bounce Binding. Reprieve is in case one ring gets countered. Reprieve is just like, it's a 2-minute, it's a good 2-minute interactive spell on curve. And I just kind of want to see how the card plays a little bit. Not that it's too different from Remand, of course. But I think you're definitely overthinking it. I like how it looks like we don't have any counter magic up too. Maybe good to force the Rhino that turn. Still think there's a chance I hardcast this Solitude, but is it okay to go down to Molten Jars? It's okay, but not for long list events. I don't think that card's any good at all. Unless I've grossly misread it, you know. This happens sometimes. Alright, I think I need to use this on any 3-mana spell I see. I don't love it, but I'm gonna do this now. Is the Rings to be best in Tron overall? Weirdly enough, like I only played 3 matches with the Tron deck, and it's not like I could really get a ton of data from those matches. But it didn't really feel like that was like Tron didn't feel very good. Like the Tron deck still feels like it has a lot of weaknesses and archetypal problems that even if the One Ring is probably like good in the shell. Maybe my list could have been bad too. A lot of Tron players were telling me my list was bad. Definitely like potentially true. But even if that is the case, then like the archetype Tron may still just be like not as good as other decks that can play the Ring. Yeah, I did get a little unlucky, but whatever. You can try it in the sack deck. 4 dogs. I do want to cast the card. From what I've heard from other people who've cast the card, though, they have also not been like particularly impressed by it. Okay, so we can go ping ping with Force Tap, but still dead. Let's go to game. We'd have had one more draw step if I did Solitude earlier, and then we would have drawn. I guess we're shuffling, so maybe not. Whatever. Game 3 on the play this time. Why is Call of the Ring spiking? Is that the 2-mana enchantment ring bearer on your upkeep? I don't think that card's great. Could be wrong. I still haven't like had a ring bearer yet. Do I keep this on 1 land on the play? No, I think we go to 5. We're a Wrenn and Six deck. This deck doesn't have enough blue cards for Force. It does post board. Game 1 it doesn't have enough, but then you bring in post board 4 blue cards. Up to 14. Which for like to me like 13 is like bare minimum. It's definitely is skirting the line a little bit. Same in Winota. Delighted Halfling is also pretty nice in Winota too. Yeah, it's also like, yeah, Force of Negation being 3 mana makes it like significantly more hard castable too. So you need less blue cards than you would in, you know, for Force of Will. It is cool here that my opponents tap my blue source and we just still have Reprieve up. 14 forces what the blue math Gandalf's always taught me as men. Yeah, it's like that's probably for Force of Will. I don't know if that's also for Force of Negation. For me, I'm down to cheat a little bit on Force of Negation cards because it's just more castable. So I can't get up basic planes here and still cast Omnath. So I should get a Sacred Foundry probably, or I should get a blue source, Hallowed Fountain. And then I'm gonna play the ring, even if it's kind of bad into a possible Force of Negation. It's the best if it resolves. It's not like this is not gonna get forced down the line too. You know what I mean? Oh boy. It almost feels like they have the Force of Negation, and they're like, I don't need to counter that. But like, what other answer could they have for this? Like, surely not Petty Theft. Have we Teferi to own ring yet? We've had the option to, but it hasn't like been correct to yet. I guess we will play our land before Omnath, so we never tap out of the Flusterstorm. You tap the Hallowed Fountain for blue. Esper Goryo's what Reprieve as interaction? Maybe, I don't know, probably not. Wanted the Flusterstorm up for like a possible dispute, but it is nice that my opponent doesn't like really have anything, of course. I always love to see that. I'm just gonna game my life now. And let this resolve. We have that Thunder. Thankfully Athena's pretty calm. Sometimes she has a hard time. Yeah, honestly, like, the ring would be so much worse if it wasn't legendary. It's crazy that this card would be just so much worse. The fact that you just get to reset it is such a crazy, crazy thing. Basically, if you're able to play, like, I need to draw 7. I mean, drawing 7's honestly too much. First, I mean, it's not like a linear combo deck, or you'll just deck yourself. Like, what's that 7-mana enchantment? I think it's 6 or 7 mana that says whenever an opponent casts a spell, they draw 7 cards. And, like, it's just like you think, at first it seems great, but then you just die because you draw too many. We didn't draw a fetch land, but thankfully we have a Wrenn and Six. And now they're going to use their Force of Negation and just get its spell pierced. Oh. Or not. Force Fruition? Yeah, that card's awesome. So deal them 4, cast the Binding. Don't even have to discard any cards. Gain more life on their turn. Can pitch Solitude if we want. Maybe they haven't had the Force. Oh, they have the Force. Nah, I'm just kidding. Maybe they don't. Yeah, when you cast the ring once, your hand is just full the rest of the game. That's definitely been my experience. I did trivia with Norn, how did Snap feel? Pretty honestly, Snapcaster did feel fine. It's just like probably still not the best thing to be doing, but like felt better than it has in a long time. If I'll you know, to stop memeing for a little bit. Yeah, we'll play more of the Inky deck soon. I don't know when. Maybe just jam it in the challenge. Ooh. Kamal, thank you for the 18 months. You're playing Omnath? Yep. I know, I'm a villain, huh? Why do they have this in their deck against me? It's so weird. Anti-Chalice tech? Maybe, yeah. Yeah, it is good against Titania. Alright, draw 4. What a card, huh? What a card. Where is Jason? How you feel about the ring now? No, just kidding. We convinced Jason yesterday. Yesterday, Jason was a doubter, and after 5 minutes, after I cast the ring one time, Jason became a believer in the ring. Cool. Could have won there by pitching Solitude, pinging Wrenn and Six twice, but the game was like very over already. I'd give Jason the subscription if he didn't think it was good, and if he did think it was good, he had to subscribe. And then like we made that deal, and then like 1 minute later, Jason's like, "Okay, the ring is busted." Up against Scales, interesting. A build with Kiora to get some ramp. Kiora plus One Ring is interesting. So like obviously we've played a little bit with the 8 key deck to untap it. With Kiora it's actually pretty cool. Played in like Mono Green Devotion, which might weirdly be a good home for it. So let's just go Wrenn and Six, pick up a land into another halfling. Just for the 13 months, thank you. So we're gonna bring Mono Green Devotion for Modern. Yeah, Arbor Elf, you have a Maya, can untap Nykthos. Yeah, we've played that combo before. We had a really cool build of Mono Green Devotion that I probably played too much of this deck, but I was just having so much fun. Sorry, don't look at that. Yes, we have that combo here with Yavimaya Arbor Elf. What was really cool, Summoner's Pact for Ave and the Mono Green Devotion shell was so fun. You have so much devotion with Ave in the deck, and it's cool that your like Kioras and your Garriks can act as rituals to get your storm count up, and then Kiora draws you a ton of cards with Ave. Wait, what if we just played this deck, but with the ring over Karn? Or maybe we play Karn and ring. Yeah, Kiora. Yeah, we're talking about it because Kiora untaps the ring. Pro Tour deck locked in. Sounds pretty sweet. Get a poll going. I may have to do that tomorrow. See that thunder? I might have time for today too. It's just today's a little bit up in the air. A friend of mine's moving in with me for a couple months, and I'm kind of trying to be done with the stream when they get here. PT is going to be a mess? Hopefully. Those are always the best PTs. We just get rid of the scales here. Well, the cuts from Green Bee, so it will be. You could just do kind of an easy cut Karn for one ring, but you probably want to do something like cut the Witnesses and a Garrick for the 3 rings. Could trim some Oath of Nisses too, maybe. Yeah, the first Witness as like a Summoner's Pact target was pretty good, so maybe cut one Witness. You had 2, so you could go Pact for you could go Pact, get extra storm count with your Pact chains, which was sometimes relevant, but I think you can cut a Witness, 4th Garrick, 3rd Oath of Nissa if you want. Could also potentially be good to go in on like a Leyline of Abundance build. Oh, I forgot I wanted to do Leyline of Abundance with the new 4-mana enchantment, although it's maybe too many non-creatures in that kind of build. Any 4 CMC or less standalone card in Modern that could incrementally draw as many cards as Ring? No, Ring is broken. I don't know. I've been screaming it for a few days now. Ring is pretty broken. For a while. Yeah, it would be really cool to play Iki, I agree. I mean, just because you're teaming with someone doesn't mean you have to play the same deck that everyone else does. Like, there's, a small chance that I deviate from what everyone else does. Let's make a red and green here, I think. Yeah, PT is at the end of July. And I guess I might just cycle an Omnath here. Yeah, I've got 2 Omnaths in hand and then 4 colors. Sure. Card might be good in One Ring meta, yeah, for sure. This isn't great if you can't hit Fury or Reprieve. Has Nissa not been amazing this game? Has Nissa not been amazing this game? Made 4 mana, drawn 2 Omnath. Do you think Demilich, which is a wizard with flames, is still too slow? I do, yeah. It's not really something I'd probably put too many stocks in. I think I'll go Binding on the Ozolith or Ballista. Let's do Ozolith. Ozolith is so scary with double patchwork like this. And trade Omnath for the Construct. Another Halfling is not amazing. Oh, I guess I need to tap red. They fixed the bow with Needle Wondering. I saw a tweet about a hotfix that someone linked that probably mentioned something about that. Okay, I think I'm gonna do. It actually just doesn't matter at all. I guess do another green for like Halfling plus Titania. Solitude. So I have 6 floating mana, so I can Solitude the bigger Patchwork Automaton and pay for ward. I also have the 1 Halfling here. It'd be so funny if Delighted Halfling tapped for half a mana somehow. And then if my opponent wants to trade Automaton and Ballista for a Nissa, that's fine. Yeah, the bug was you just couldn't name the ring with Pithing Needle. Like, it just wasn't on like the list of cards to name for some reason. A 1/2 because it's a Halfling? Maybe, yeah. That's funny. Yeah, I think you could name other cards from Lord of the Rings, but I'm really not 100% sure, I guess. So last Omnath, which means we're hitting probably hitting a Solitude, but we can also hit a Titania. We also do have 1 more Nissa in the deck. Wow, Nissa was bad the whole time. I don't think I'm cycling this Omnath right now. We'll attack with all of these though. No rings in the top 24 cards, sadly. But also just down to pass, still pretty ahead. Is any such card legal in Vintage Necropotence? No, the ring is broken. You know, it's like there's really not any card like it. The ring it's broken. It's like weirdly better than Necropotence. Oh, also like I saw a lot of people online talking about the ring looks good in Modern. I don't know if it's going to be good in EDH yet. And I'm like, I just feel so out of touch. Like how could a 4-mana artifact that gives you protection from everything and draws millions of cards not be good in the in EDH? You know, maybe. Okay, we can sit in with Omnath and Nissa just because we have backups to all of these. Wait, can I attack with my Halflings? I think I can, because they're going to block the Patchwork on 1 of these 3, and then they can block a Ballista on 2, but then the other 2 damage gets in. I have so much life, too. Yeah, there's no way it doesn't go in, like, literally every EDH deck. If you play... Oh, that's right. I forgot that winning is bad in EDH. It's, like, not what you want to do. Rude to win. I kind of totally disregarded the protection part, how relevant. It's pretty good. Protection from everything is weirdly like a pretty good line of text. Dead to infect? Nope, not even close here. They can infect me for like 5 or something on the crackback. Yes, okay, 1 mana short of casting that. Okay, so let's go Wrenn and Six Nissa, fetch land. Nissa probably gets us. We have 3 Solitudes, 1 Titania, so 75% chance of Solitude in the forecast, 1% or 25% chance of Titania. Did y'all know Mishra's Workshop is legal in EDH? Isn't that crazy? Okay. Didn't even have to cast the ring. Nissa, pretty bad. Okay, bring in the Wear Tears and the Boseijus. Cutting Sam again. Yeah, I think we just do that and we cut the Sams and the Reprieves. 2 Spell Pierce is probably fine. Probably better than Force. Especially with like a little bit less blue cards. Yeah, and in Vintage, like, yeah, the card with Mishra's Workshop in Vintage, like, seems like truly ridiculous. Yeah, there's a card from the Warhammer decks. It's like a 6 mana black creature that's an artifact creature. I was trying to find like what the best like artifact commander for Mishra's Workshop was, and I think that one was it. I can't remember what it does, but it seemed like it'd be pretty good to just like power out turn 1, turn 2. Not that I want to buy a Mishra's Workshop for an EDH deck that I'll never play, but maybe I'll proxy it. Although I feel like proxying Mishra's Workshop is kind of a dick move. Can a blue-white shell play the One Ring? It can, but the life loss downside is like more significant in blue-white than it is in other shells, I think. Gonna save the Boseiju now, which is cool. You lost to Burn. Burn's a pretty rough-looking matchup, I think. Burn is just like so weirdly well-positioned. Might fuse Wear Tear turn 2 if they play like Hangerback Walker, or not, or maybe Walker, but like Ravager Ballista would be better. Not Patchwork. Yeah, let's just Teferi bounce the Saga this turn, slow him down. If you aren't proxying expensive cards, what are you doing? Proxy everything? Yeah, sure, but it's like at the very least, like I would own most of the rest of the deck. It's fine. It's fine. I think I'm like very pro proxying, but like the cards are like super restrictive. Like, and like I at least like when I was playing, like I don't know anybody that like would have proxied the Mishra's Workshop or like Time Twister or Library of Alexandria. These were cards that like nobody had anyways, so like they kind of like weren't part of the play group in the first place, is kind of how it felt. And so like proxying it was weird because like they already kind of felt like they didn't even exist, like they weren't part of the card pool. I don't know if that makes sense, but obviously do whatever you want, who cares. But like those specific cards always felt weird to proxy because like nobody else had them. Then like there were cards that like people with like without proxy decks like aren't playing. I don't know if that makes sense. Just obviously talk about it with your playgroup first. Is always the answer. Always the answer. Call a judge. I just really like Bazaar of Baghdad. That's fair. Yeah. Seems all fine. Halfling seems like such a good fit in this deck. So we can go like Teferi. Not sure what we do with Teferi. Oh, they're playing Blink Moth Nexus, not Ink Moth Nexus. Don't see that often. Guess I can make green, so I could cast Titania. I do have I can just Solitude the Ozlith, or Solitude the Patchwork, and if they do Ozlith, then I can pitch Solitude, worst case scenario, but I probably won't need to. Seems like likely a pretty good matchup, huh? Why is an opponent resigned? I mean, it's Scales is like a deck that can win from like really ridiculous situations in my experience. They probably should, but like they have, I think, probably enough resources to beat a hand that's like pretty. I mean, it's hard. I guess the counter argument is that it's hard for them to beat even my mana flooded hands because I have Nissa. It's okay. They can play it out. It's their right. Stable Pinecone for the 2 months. Thank you. Yeah, we do have deck techs open today, or we should. Can your deck tech include Tasigur? I will just completely ignore the Tasigur at this point. And you'll know, and I'll know silently that the Tasigur should just be a Murktide Regent instead, and that's okay. All right, not a lot of game actions at this point that matter. I'll just kind of cast spells until my opponent dies. Deal them 4. Ring feels a little unneeded here. Yeah, a little. The ring itself is the strongest in 8 key, but is 8 key the best deck that plays the ring? It's a little bit different where the ring is max power level there, but obviously like you have the whole rest of the deck to think about. Ooh, we get to hold up either Reprieve, or Sam. It's kind of fun. Finally get a ring bearer. Oh, never mind. We're just gonna die. Never mind. We'll just like lose. It's fine, I guess. You ever lose before? Very notably, we can Reprieve a Titan for a turn, even through a cavern. We play Reprieve for testing. Did the second one remand before? Usually runs Counterspell. Reprieve is like significantly better than Remand because it doesn't get veiled, disputed, and gets around uncounterable stuff. Which are all like pretty serious upgrades to the effect or whatever, but. So they play Growth Chamber and just immediately bounce the Growth Chamber. But I am mostly just trying to playtest it, to be honest. Protection from everything. I realized when I saw the ring. That's funny. How I felt about Sam. This is the first time I've drawn it, and it doesn't look very good against Amulet Titan, is my first analysis. Private Reamer as bonus pitch to Solitude? Maybe, yeah. I haven't like looked super closely at that. We also need to test like the 3-mana Fact or Fiction over Shadow Prophecy in those shells. So right now they're 2 mana short of a Titan, for whatever that's worth. Can I ask the link to the Living Intake? I mean, I don't have like a link to it. I just downloaded it. You know. Oh no! Don't Karn my ring away. They get a coding. It's got a coding so fast. Wow, we have nothing. Okay, let's go to game 2. Hand full of nothing. Had some outs there maybe, but just pack it in. Bring in the Boseijus, the Wear Tears. I guess I want like some number of forces if they're going to be on Karns maybe. Like although like the Spell Piercers are pretty bad, so we're going to be hard casting Force a lot of the time. Maybe just not bring it in. Got the Titania. Go down a land. I do like that Nissa can dig me for Solitudes. Yeah, the Sam should probably just be a main deck Elesh Norn. Oh, the Elesh Norns. That was close. Let's go to Forest. It's a fairy number 4. Unstable Pinecone with the deck tech? Yeah, post link in chat. Happy to take a look. Yeah, I almost forgot to call my mom. Bring Elesh Norn in. Okay, we have Wrenn and Six Boseiju, which is probably good enough for a keep. Runs on a Model 6. Green-white Oven Scales. A Pioneer deck. I was playing Oven. I think I was playing like 1 or 2 Ovens in my build. Seems like you're more in on the sacrifice outlets. You really need to play... oh fuck, what's the card called? It's 3 mana. It's 3 mana and has... You tap it, you pay life, and you do some things. Dang it, what's that card called? I'm not doing a very good job describing it. 3 mana, you can pay 1 life to destroy a permanent you control, so it's also sack outlet. You can proliferate with it for like 3 life. You can draw a card, you can tap it for mana. That card is like very good in scales because you get to tap it to proliferate, but also you can tap it to sack outlet in this build that it cares a little bit more about having sack outlets. I would really be interested in seeing you play some copies of that card. I think I'm just gonna Boseiju the Saga. Yeah, Staff of Completion, thank you. And maybe you're cutting the Yodian Dissidence. I haven't tested the card, but I feel like you need to like cut one of the more expensive spells to fit it in. Maybe cut the 4th Oven also and play 4 of the I already found the card. 4 Staff of Completions, 3 Ovens. I think I was doing something close to that. I can't remember the exact numbers I was on. They might have their own Boseiju. That's fine. What does that do here? Just got Boseiju. Then slam the Norn next turn. I think that's my main thoughts. Hard to give a ton of feedback on the sideboard. It looks pretty reasonable. Gobokhan seems like very cool and synergistic. When I was testing the deck, I really liked Staff, and that was like kind of the main reason for me to play this build at all. But I also say I didn't feel like it was great. Oh, wow. They're out of Forest somehow. They must have a bunch in their hand. Local man draws, ring doesn't slam it. I mean, hard to argue with this line, right? I feel like kind of hard to argue that this is, and then you know, next turn we'll play, you know, this turn we'll play Elesh Norn and win. Okay, game 3. Gonna be likely a little bit more tricky on the draw. Let's go. Yeah, double protection from everything. Protection from everything and then some. Force might be good. I think because we're not bringing in the Flusterstorm and we cut the Spell Pierces, we don't have enough blue cards in this build. Oh, turn 2 Teferi in this matchup is actually such a big deal. Holy shit. But if we had enough blue cards, I'd be down for a copy or 2. You only have enough if you have every blue card in the deck, and... Wow, then we can go Nissa with Reprieve up next turn. Reprieve, however, whatever this card's called. Yeah, Halfling's been like way better than I expected even. Not that I thought it would be bad, but it's been like very good. Yeah, I don't know, my brain is melting. Who cares? It's okay. I pronounce it the way I'm pronouncing it. It's all equal. Could maybe even be better just to slam the ring. Oh, they just boarded in a hearse? You just boarded in a hearse as Titan? What are you doing? I'm just gonna board in my licensed hearse, brother, and I'm gonna exile your graveyard when you target your land with Wrenn and Six. How's Halfling feel on turn 1? Struggling whether it has a place in 4-color Omnath ring. I mean, it's been pretty good so far. Obviously, mana dorks are bad when you top deck them, but you also just draw so many cards with this deck. Like, I think that you're okay to have some bad top decks. Yeah, then making everything uncounterable is just like, just crazy. Oh, no, yeah, Reprieve beats the Halfling. The ring was not so easily destroyed. So the ring was not so easily destroyed. All typos are because of my keyboard and not because of my mushy Applebee's education brain. The ring was not so... It's this keyboard! I still haven't bought a new one yet. Honestly, like, as Reform, we 5-0'd. I would not recommend the deck, though. Do you have recommendations? Maybe. I'm not really looking to spend a lot of money. I bought this one because it was like cool looking and it was like really cheap and it had like this fun stuff on the background. But the inputs suck. Like it just doesn't take the input half the time. But it looks nice. And Esther really likes this one because it looks nice. And I think I'll give it to her and maybe she'll get annoyed by it too. Well, we didn't draw a land in the next 4 cards, I guess. Let's cast an Omnath. We got 2 draws off of it. Okay. Plus, I guess. Can't hold all these cards. To discard 4. Discard both Wrens against the hearse. The Omnath. And I don't know if I could discard my Precious, y'all. I'll discard one of them. Oh, I've discarded one more. That Applebee's education. So many low spinning chords, a lot of Grigman stuff. What you like? Yeah, it's just like keyboarding as a hobby is really cool. I have a friend of a friend who used to stream and like would stream himself making mechanical keyboards. I'd watch him all the time because it was like fun to watch him like do crafts and stuff and very relaxing. I'm not really like into keyboards, I just kind of like want to push the button and have like the input correlate well. And if it looks nice, hooray. But I don't know. I just want it to work. That's all I care about, really. Alright, so we'll lose 3. Surely I'll have a land in the next 4 cards. Literally just 1. This is kind of crazy. Protection from everything! And then protection from everything, just in case they had something. I don't know. Also, they've been playing 16 lands and new cycle creatures. We saw a list that was playing 14. But yeah, you get to go way down the lands, which is interesting. I think I'm gonna not bother plussing Teferi. Oh, they could have copied the ring. Just not wasting my time. Look at this. Quad, Solitude, triple Reprieve. Oh, we only have one of them up. It doesn't matter. Just Elesh Norn is so crazy against them. Reprieve. Alright, let's get a 4-1 prediction. Got crushed by Burn in round 1. That matchup seemed pretty bad. From pronouncing it wrong this whole time. I can't stop myself. This end's close. We're on the play. We have turn 2 Binding, turn 3 Teferi on the play, which we'll keep despite us not having a fetch line for the Wrenn. Yeah, it's been pretty nice so far, Jesse. Where am I going in Utah? I don't know. I don't know where my friend lives. He came up here to visit for like a month. With his wife who's pregnant, and so she's not doing the 20-hour drive to Utah because she's gonna fly back, but they have 2 dogs that they need transported, which is very rough to do by yourself. So I'm gonna go with them. It'll be fun road tripping with a friend, driving in the desert, just being just 2 guys in the desert. Anything could happen. Be a good time. Oh, whoops. Sorry, I should have cast the Wrenn. I was just busy daydreaming about the desert. I think I do binding the grief here. Which I couldn't have done if I played the Wrenn. And then I'm gonna fly back Monday morning. Or Tuesday morning, and then stream Tuesday, but not stream Monday, but stream Saturday. I mean, if they have Force Grief living in, good beats. Okay. We still have the One Ring, which could get us out of this potentially, and they don't have another Cycler. 3 cards in their hand. So I guess I'm hoping to draw a white card for the Solitude. Don't want to draw yet because of Grief, I guess. Although I guess if they grief, I'm still drawing in response, looking for a white card to evoke in response. Flying dogs is a thing. Yeah. How could you tell your dog, hey, I know you don't understand this at all, but I need you to get in a weird, loud box for like 4 hours, 5 hours, away from me by yourself in a cage. I couldn't do it to my dogs. Just like if your dog is small enough you can take it like with you in the seat, that's fine. But to like make your dog like I don't know, I couldn't do it. They'd be happy when you see you. Yeah, they'd be happy, relieved. Yeah. Also like yeah, there's like the very, very small chance, but still the chance of someone going, hey, I'm like really sorry about this. We lost your dog. Here's like a coupon voucher for the Applebee's. Sorry about that. You get 50% off apps. Real sorry about that. Really milking these Applebee's jokes. Yeah, it's a pretty good deal. Maybe we should just play the Halfling. I'm drawing so many cards. They're just so likely to... Turtling back Force, huh? I guess with the Wrenn and Six, I kind of want this in the yard, huh? Yeah, we had to play a hero deck before we played Omnath. We just 5-0'd with Snapcaster Mage, which has earned me a little bit of villaining today. Oh, I guess they do have the Force of Negation, huh? That's okay. Just make them use it. I guess I pitched the Solitude so I could still have Binding up here. Could have the Omnath in the yard, but I think the life is like pretty important. Oh, Ward 2, no! I had no idea that card had Ward 2. No idea. So I'm going to chump block the Riverwinder. Take 6, down to 11, then take 3 from the ring, down to 8. But then I get to draw 4 cards. Just like that, we're ahead. I guess I just play another ring. I can go ring and binding and pay for ward. Although if the ring resolves, if they don't have a force, then I'll probably just play some halflings. Be careless with the ring. No, and we haven't even like come close to. Like it hasn't even been close that the ring is like Ah, I'm losing so much life. I'm gonna die to the ring. It hasn't even... Oh, whoops, I should have floated a mana. Hasn't even been close. Probably should have drawn first. I could draw Teferi. A card I can't pronounce too. I guess I just cast another ring. Yeah, it's like you just draw so many cards with the first one. You'll just have a second one. It's crazy. Yeah, it's like net life gain because of the protection. You have no more fetchables, right? Should have a Temple Garden. Okay, I do. The ring is not bugged. I'll just not block. Get stomped. I currently have protection from everything, opponent. I guess they're just saying, is it bugged? Ah, I lost a life. It's in my hand. Reprieve is in my hand? What's in my hand? Whatever, I won. Oh, the Temple Garden's in my hand. I see, the no more fetchables. The Temple Garden was the card in the hand. Kind of one Nissa, maybe. The 4th Halfling. Matchup seems pretty good, honestly. We got a lot of counter spells. We have Endurance, Teferi. The ring is really good. Kind of halflings. I think you trim a halfling. Halfling letting you turn 2 Teferi is really nice. I think trim 1's fine. Soul of Windgrace. I do like Soul of Windgrace. It's probably one. It's probably like too many 4-drops. I think I'll just play. I think if I would make the change of playing the first Elesh Norn in the main over Sam. Although maybe I didn't give Sam a fair cut because I cut it in every matchup. But what can you do? Had a lot of winning today, huh? I think we'll have time to play the silly devotion deck too. Untapping the ring with Cure does sound really hot though. Yeah, Aragorn's not very good, unfortunately. Seems like a fun commander though. Yeah, someone did mention playing Aragorn with like Lava Dart and Gutshot and turning those cards into 4 damage spells. And like that doesn't sound like nothing, but it also doesn't sound like enough, if that makes sense. I lost to Burn. Burn seemed like a bad matchup. Burn is just kind of like good against everything in Modern right now. It's so funny. Ring seems pretty busted. I say what's one of the most busted cards in Modern. I'm pretty sure I've said that. I've been very hyped about the card for a long time. I'm glad to feel like I'm right. That's always a fun feeling, but it is still a little early. A little early to call it like, you know, one of the most busted cards. It's been great though. We've Holden half to Tron. We have like the Boseiju plan, but yeah, Tron does seem like a tough matchup. Keep starting at Sam and Snapcaster, wanting them to work together somehow. I don't know that there is something there. It's kind of fun to play Flash though, a Flash game. Datical with the Twitch Prime, thank you. Yeah, the ring is like definitely getting restricted in Vintage. Like that is something I feel so. I don't play Vintage. I cannot imagine that they let you play 4 rings and 4 workshops forever. They'll let you have your fun for a little while or whatever, but I would be shocked if this stays. I think I'm not gonna shock in the breeding pool. If they have like grief into Shardless Agent, it's kind of annoying. We can still force. No, Mishra's workshop is restricted, but suspiciously in Vintage, they do have restricted Lodestone Golem and Trinisphere and like at least one other card I think that like Thorn. I think Thorn like cards that like would not be restricted if it wasn't for Workshop being so good. I don't have Leyline Binding in my deck anymore, so I'll just get Raugrin Triome instead of Indatha. Trinisphere is restricted for good reason. Would Trinisphere be restricted if Workshop was restricted? I think probably no. But it could be. Yes, okay. I will not fight you on this point. Okay, Force the Teferi. Yeah, this is not a point to... I will argue. Not a hill to die on. I would be a little shocked if my opponent was playing around Force of Negation there. So I'm gonna go and jam the ring. As like there's only one way they could ever play around Force blue card being my last 2 cards, you know what I mean? King Zeke 15 months, thank you. Titania is an awesome draw because even if they do have like Dispute or another Force here to let this resolve, then Titania could maybe still stabilize me. While they do have something. Was your return couldn't have Force of Negation? That's what I'm saying is that I was tapped out with 2 cards in my hand, and if my opponent had a living end, they would have played it on their turn, but they didn't, so it's safe for me to play the ring. Oh, they just didn't have anything. All right, let's play Nissa. Keep Reprieve. Could be funny to leave Stomping Ground Plains untapped. Yeah, just making me sweat a little, I think. Okay, we lost to Burn, and then we won 4 matches in a row. That felt very good, honestly. I would want to play some more of it, but, you know, we're definitely a contender for the PT. We'll be talking to my team about it some more. Ooh, fancy Manamo. Might keep that. Okay, and I do think we have enough time to get a little weird with it today, so let's get a little weird. We played the hero deck, we played the villain deck, and now we play the goofy deck.